The city that always beef is back at it again. I did not want to talk about this because I already knew that this issue was going to take a dark tone. So if you don't know what I'm talking about Cardi B versus Nicki Minaj. Now, this is why New York is just is cooked, right? Everybody beefs. New York, it's just can't get along. Now, fortunately, this is the woman thing, right? This is a woman thing, right? And no matter how you feel about the ladies, if you talk to women, they're gonna tell you women are catty. Women are catty, women can't get along. That's just a thing with women. I don't know what that's about. You're gonna have to let the women talk about that. Once you start getting family involved, once you start getting kids involved, I don't think anybody should really be even champion this. At first you saw everybody, yo, this is the biggest beef. This is the last battle we got since Kent. You know, the content creators going to do what they do. They're gonna do content. I'm pretty sure some people didn't like the fact that I talked about Absol. Even though if you watch the video, if you watch my content, you know I always try to keep it fair. I always try to have a greater purpose than just, mudslinging. Now, don't get me wrong. It's times where I just do a mudslinging type video. I ain't gonna lie. I did it to Joey, Drake, I've done it to Dame, I've done it to Jay. I say my opinion. I keep it fair. But this one, I really didn't want to talk about because it has some real demonic energy around it. It has some real hatred and some real vitriol around it that I just didn't feel as though was entertaining. I am not entertained by this. I still haven't really went through all of the tweets. I saw just enough. I listened to the Breakfast Club in the morning when I dropped my daughter off just so I can, know what's going on and know what I missed, because sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, at a certain hour, I'm closing the Twitter. I'm closing the tweets, and I'm not really paying attention to what's going on because, I already have a hard time sleeping. I already live in an area where I feel as though I gotta keep the. I've been sleeping with my piece underneath my pillow. I'm gonna keep it real with you. The world that we in right now is crazy. So I got a following, and every day I realize how big my following is, or how big my voice is. Cousin hit me up. I shouted him out in one video, and one of his friends hit him up and was like, "Yo, this your cousin?" And they ain't speak in 2 years, and now they going to chill this weekend. They're going to link up, and he live all the way in Cali. So it's like, yo, I realize every day that my voice, has power. So it's been hard sleeping knowing that somebody might get my location or get my address and try to do something. So I haven't been really keeping up with everything because, man, my spirit is tired right now. And after reading all of the tweets that I did read and getting the synopsis and the breakdowns that I have from the Breakfast Club, man, I want no parts of this because lines are getting crossed that I feel as though shouldn't be crossed. We're seeing it even in politics. I have a special needs daughter, so when I start seeing people talk about the kids are ugly and the kids are slow, and I have no stomach for that, because I could imagine if I was to get into, I got into a certain situation, and fortunately for that person, and fortunately for me, it didn't go there, but I feel as though it could, because I'm open. I'm honest about a lot of my life. I don't put my daughter on Front Street. I don't put my issues on Front Street as much, but I be just as honest as one can when he's doing content. So I would never want somebody to use that against me in the beef or in the battle, because I know what limits I'll go to. And recently, I've been staying away from a lot of people because I realized I still got a lot to work on. I realized that a lot of the anger and a lot of the issues that I dealt with as a child, or I dealt with as an adolescent growing up, they haven't really gone away. And so I've watched some of my other peers kind of lose themselves this year. I've watched myself lose myself this year. And so I've been really taking time to work on myself. I've been really taking time to grow personally. So when I see things like what Nicki and Cardi are doing, and JT is involved, and Megan Thee Stallion's involved, and Ice Spice is involved, all the ladies are doing the thing. They doing their thing. They being ladies. The guys are very catty, and so are the women, right? The women are known to be catty. Women with a lot of women friends, they always talking about each other, right? That's just how it is. I have a wife, and she's a school teacher, and the school is very catty. That's how it is. It's cliques, and it's how it is. I love Mean Girls. Mean Girls is one of my favorite movies. I thought it was really funny, Mr. Duvall. I love Mean Girls, but it's not Mean Girls. This is like demonic. This is evil. This is bad, and I don't want anybody to be championing this. That's why I didn't say anything on it, because for one, it's New York. New York is in shambles. Another artist that I know was kind of crapping on another art. Like, I was watching somebody's story. You know who you are. I was watching your private story. Somebody added me to their private story, and it's just a lot of beef and a lot of turmoil in the city of New York. You get what I'm saying? They say Harlem doing good, though. From what I seen, Harlem doing good. All we need is for Mace and Cam to get together, and Harlem is okay. It's a lot of beef in Brooklyn. You got a lot of beef. Cam and Dame and Jay, right? Like New York is the city that always beefs. So to see the ladies doing this it hurts me. It hurts my heart because Cardi shouldn't be even be doing it. She shouldn't even be stooping to this level. She just had an amazing album. A lot of people are giving it great reviews. For me, it sounds decent. I like it. I like that she was vulnerable. I like that she was honest. It was an album for everybody. It has something in there for everybody, and she really got vulnerable or like, man of my word, right? Like some of them songs are really dope and really are woman anthems. And if people could look past their fandom, they would really enjoy it. But she allowed. I've been a big Nicki fan in my life. I've been on record saying that I believe Nicki can raps when Nicki's in her bag. She sounds and raps better to me than Jay-Z. Like Nicki on Monster, Itty Bitty Piggy Nicki. Like when Nicki's in her bag, she's one of the best rappers ever. Like pure rappers, lyricists, flow, cadence, everything. She's just really good at it. They've been saying she don't have classics like Cardi. You know, people have kind of turned on her, right? People have really turned on her, and she hasn't been doing herself any favors. She been calling out Rock Nation. She was really championing Lil Wayne. She been calling out Jay-Z. She been calling out Desiree Perez. She been blaming everything on Rock Nation. She been real crazy lately. And you know what I say? Twitter is not good for artists. Twitter is one of the worst places for artists to go because it just, you know, shout out to Gina Fuse, get in the booth, right? They just be blabbering, yapping, and they don't get in the booth. So Nicki has been changing, right? And it's been very evil. It's been very evil spirits around her. So she dragged Cardi down to hell with her. That's basically what she did. I wish Cardi, she is growing a life in her body. All of that stress and all of that trauma, it definitely plays effect, right? And that's one thing that they've been saying to each other. Oh, you was putting hatred on me. That's why your son. I don't really do that because I did have a baby during the pandemic. I love my daughter to death. You know, she is such a bright light. And even though she can't communicate, she could speak, and she has a lot of energy and a lot of love to her. She's always smiling. She's always happy. You know, it's a lot of other kids in her classroom that don't speak and don't have life and are very, you know, but she has so much life. She's happy. She's always smiling. She loves music. A part of me just thinks like the world really shaped the way she came out, right? So in a way, not to put all my business out there, but in a way, there was a lot of stress around having a second kid during the pandemic, and maybe that might have affected her. Fortunately for me, she has a lot of light, she has a lot of energy, and my wife didn't do things like that. You know what I'm saying? It was just a crazy time in the world, and that stress might have negatively impacted that baby. So it's crazy how Cardi is telling Nicki that you got a lot of hate for me, and that's the reason why your baby came out crazy when she's growing a baby. Just certain things when you up and you growing a baby and you growing a life, you just don't engage in. This is all trauma. This all smells like trauma. All of it smells like trauma. It smells like trauma. It smells like ignorance. It smells like hate. It smells like vitriol. It's very low. I think highly of these women, even though people may feel how they feel about Nicki, even though people may feel how they feel about Cardi. I've seen no BBL raps. I've seen a lot of things that I'm just like, dang, man, people really choose and pick sides. You get what I'm saying? Because, you know, Nicki got a BBL too. That's neither here nor there. I have tried to go into things with a positive mindset. The Joey thing kind of ticked me off because I think I expected Joey to save us, right? Same thing with, who else? There's other artists out there. Maybe even Ab-Soul, right? It was a point in time where I really know Ab-Soul was very conspiratory, right? He was talking about the government. He was talking about these different things and do what thou will. And so, you know, I have learned, and I keep rereading the 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your words. Always try your best. Don't make any assumptions. And don't take anything personal, right? I try to live by that. And so, you know, I understand sometimes your emotions get the best of you. I'm not perfect. I had a crazy year. I've had an up and down year. Sometimes in the comment section, I shouldn't be in the comment sections as much as I should. But because I come from a place of emotion and trauma, sometimes I feel like I got to defend myself. So I'm working on it, right? Like, I'm not perfect. And I understand that, you know, we all going to have our human days. And, you know, that's what my content is mostly about, is try to find a silver lining. And I see no silver lining in this. I see no good in this. It's just all bad. I just hope that these women could find in their heart to do better and be better, because this ain't it. You know, you got little girls looking up to you. We already got our politicians acting like little high schoolers. It's sad that, you know, these amazingly talented people with all the money and all the opportunity in the world, where a time where people really going through stuff, like people really struggling, people really got it bad, and you just see this, and it's like, what purpose is this? And Nicki is winning because she's dragging Cardi down with her at a time where Cardi should be celebrating new life, bringing new life into the world, celebrating, celebrating a new album, a successful album. People are talking about this. It's bad, man. Some of these tweets are extremely negative. I suggest if you just don't even look at it. But this is New York, man, the city that always beefs, man. This is what we do. This is what we known for. And everybody always asks why New York is in shambles. This is why. Cardi should be the queen. It should be a passing the torch moment, but we never got that. And this is very typical of Nicki. Nicki is like 0-5. Everybody was like, yo, Nicki's like 0-5 in beefs. She didn't beef with Kim. She didn't beef with Little Kim, Meg Thee Stallion, Remy Ma, Cardi B. This is what she do. You gotta ignore that. You get what I'm saying? Because this is not about rap. At this point, it's not about rap. They talking about each other's children. They talking about each other's family members. They're talking about Nicki's brother. Like, there's real victims and there's real people attached to this. And this is the world people got to grow up in. You know what I'm saying? So I've been trying to protect my spirit a lot more with this stuff. And I ain't want to talk about it, Content creators, yo, it's on, it's back on, it's back on, it's back on. This is the last great fight. This ain't it. This is how people get hurt. This is how people get injured. This is how people end up dead. I wish that on nobody. But let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. Have you been keeping up with this Cardi B, Nicki Minaj beef? I'm over the beef. I'm beefed out, man. Cause there's no way to get away from it. You look at hip hop, it's nothing but beef, and it's a battle. Everybody's trying to make the money, content creation, cool. And then you got your politicians doing the same thing. And it's like, yo, there's no way to get away from it. My energy and my spirit right now, I can't do it. You get what I'm saying? I can't do it. But let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. The conversation continues with you. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, ring that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I release a video. Donate to this Cash App if you want to help the channel. Super chat, all of that good stuff helps me out. I really would appreciate it. Join to be a member. Link is in the description. Join the Good Readers Club. Remember, I'm not here to be right. I'm just here to be me. Let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. Peace.